theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated, but we are initiated.
I'm super excited!
Anything like this.
First at 11, this one is tough to believe. An investigation tonight into a possible illegal medical lab. It was operating out of an abandoned warehouse in Reedley. Inside, mice bioengineered to incubate the COVID-19 virus. The lab was discovered near I and 9th Streets. 30 refrigerators and freezers, some broken, were found filled with bodily fluids. Health officials tell us they are shocked at the biological house of horror. CBS 47's Juanita Adame live in studio with the shocking details tonight.
Well, Brian, this story is so complicated. There are local, state, and federal agencies all involved. Now, what prompted this investigation was a simple garden hose that was illegally attached and coming out of the back of a building. It was back in April inside this abandoned warehouse in Reedley that a discovery so shocking was made that it left local health officials stunned.
This is a truly unusual situation. I've been in government for 25 years. I've never seen anything like this.
I've never have seen this in my 26-year career with the county of Fresno.
What was supposed to be an empty building used only for storage was home to an unauthorized lab testing facility, something no one had even conceived of.
We reach out to our local public health directors throughout the state, California, and nobody has really expressed this type of interaction with a unlicensed lab. So it is something new.
The discovery was made after a local code enforcement officer noticed this garden hose poking out a back wall of the building.
Frankly, we knew that shouldn't be there. And when she went to go investigate, she found that there was activity or operation or something happening within that building.
The city then obtained several search warrants to enter the building. Once inside, no staff was located, but
there was a special room that was built housing about 1,000 mice, 1,000 white lab mice.
And the reason the mice were in the lab was jaw-dropping.
Through their statements, that they were doing some testing on laboratory mice there that would help them support developing the COVID test kits that they had on site.
Documents show the lab was also being used to produce pregnancy tests. 200 of the nearly 1,000 mice were already dead. According to court documents, all the rodents were being caged in, quote, inhumane conditions. Also found thousands of vials, many of which contain biohazards, materials including human blood, unidentified tissue, and other unknown substances.
A lot of these are being classified under unknown chemicals. Labels had been removed from bottles, so there was only certain testing we could do to those chemicals.
According to court documents, experts determined that at least 20 potentially infectious, viral, bacterial, and parasitic agents were being stored inadequately, including E. coli, malaria, and even COVID. The city of Reedley immediately called in the CDC, the FBI, the California Department of Public Health, and the Fresno County Department of Public Health.
I think because of that swift action that was taken, we really have been able to maintain public safety this entire time.
Over the course of several weeks, investigators figured out just what they were up against. And as of now,
there are no more biologicals, there are no more mice, but they still will see us abating. There's 30 freezers and fridges, there's medical equipment, there's all sorts of furniture in there. And so they'll still see some activity. Nothing hazardous at this point.
Prado said the owners operated under the name Prestige Biotech, and so far they aren't saying much.
Some of our other federal and state partners still have active investigations going, so I really can speak more to the building side of it.
Now again, Reedley city officials emphasize that
on Tuesday morning, this normally quiet neighborhood was awakened by federal agents serving a search warrant on this home. Inside was James Knott, a man suspected to be involved in a network of people selling human remains online. Caroline Branham was at home asleep across the street, but her son's girlfriend was awake.
She got up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and saw the blue lights and everything, and she still didn't know for sure what was going on.
According to court documents, when agents asked Knott if anyone else was inside his residence, he responded, "Only my dead friends." Once inside, the meaning behind those chilling words became clear to agents. During their search, they found 40 human skulls, spinal cords, femurs, and hip bones. Some of the skulls were used as decoration, one wearing a headscarf, another sitting on the bed where Knott slept.
It's a shock. When I heard this, you just never know who your neighbor is anymore.
But it doesn't end there. According to court documents, Knott was also selling human remains on Facebook under the alias William Burke. The FBI says Knott has been linked to a network of people in several states who are believed to be trafficking human remains. Some of the remains are believed to have been stolen from a mortuary in Little Rock, Arkansas, while others were allegedly taken by a morgue manager at the Harvard Medical School. Agents even finding a Harvard Medical School bag inside Knott's home. They also found weapons, ammunition, and materials to make destructive devices.
Yes, I'm shocked. I mean, but anymore nowadays, nothing surprises me. You know, this world is just, from when I was younger to, you know, things have changed.
Right now, the only charge Knott is facing is the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. If he's convicted, Knott faces up to 10 years.
NBC4 cameras were rolling as man after man showed up at a local house thinking they were meeting teenagers for sex, but instead they were greeted by a house full of armed federal agents. Targeting adults trying to have sex with children, federal, state, local, and county agencies arrested these men as they showed up at a house on the southwest side of Columbus. Following online chats, we're told, between the men and someone who they believed to be a teenager.
More than 20 of those suspects appeared in Franklin County Court for arraignment over the last few days. Overall, more than 100 suspects were arrested during a four-tiered, multi-day undercover investigation called Fourth and Goal, headed by Homeland Security and Ohio's Attorney General, all made public for the first time today.
NBC4's Tyler Beckham is the only reporter that law enforcement officials allowed to spend the entire day with them inside that house as those suspects were arrested. It's quite a story.
It really is. He joins us now live. Tyler?
Those arrests were intense, guys, and we saw it time after time again. They were made during one of 4 undercover operations going on this week, targeting adults trying to have sex with children. Elsewhere, agents hit the Johns and the teenagers they were trying to allegedly pay to have sex with, and what we tagged along for. Adults trying to meet up with teenagers they chatted with online. Go ahead. Appearances are often deceiving.
Go ahead.
The outside of this Grove City home might not say much, but inside,
Hands up!
arrest after arrest
Hands
speaks volumes about an age-old crime against children.
They're being preyed upon, and that's not fair to them.
The mission today for these undercover agents with Internet Crimes Against Children, or ICAC, Homeland Security, Ohio's Attorney General, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, and local law enforcement,
I'm helping put bad guys away.
arrest men trying to have sex with children.
I'm 27, and I typically pose as like a 14 or a 15-year-old.
Only it's not children these suspects end up meeting.
So currently I'm working as a decoy, so I'm a live decoy.
We can't show you her face, but as one of 2 women posing as children, one's playing a boy, the other a girl, they're here today to reassure the men coming to meet them that they're not being catfished, even though they are. Undercover ICAC agents at an undisclosed location chat with the men online.
Social media applications, chat applications, various different means.
Posing as kids.
Under the age of 18 for the most part.
I mean, in one case, they thought it was a 14-year-old, and another one was 12?
Yes, that's correct.
Conversations that eventually turn to sex and meeting up.
Something new comes up every day that we haven't seen or heard.
Hookups turn takedowns.
Yeah, it's a success for sure.
More common than you may have expected.
We've had over 20 so far in the last in the last 2.5 days.
Closer to home than you might have imagined.
There's always something new, something more horrendous out there that we see that's, you know, it seems like things are getting worse and worse.
So again, all totaled, 104 arrests were made over the last couple of days. Homeland Security Special Agent in charge says this is just scratching the surface of how big the problem is, guys. So it's widespread, many agencies involved here.
You know, it makes you think of that Dateline To Catch a Predator. So you've got to wonder, was this modeled on any of their techniques, or
lessons
that was
learned?
Kind of controversial, wasn't it?
For sure, lessons learned. Chris Hansen was the face of that. He had his own separate issues from that. But as far as the stories themselves, they were scrutinized heavily because of some of the things they did wrong, and law enforcement told me some of the specifics they did differently. The decoy that you saw was an actual law enforcement agent that was an adult, and
not a kid.
Not like the Dateline. And they're also very concerned, obviously, and aware of entrapment in any language they can or can't use. They have to make sure that these Johns or these perps reach out to them first, and that they end up suggesting meeting, not the other way around.
Can you tell us real quickly about they were told to carry things, so they were for sure they were getting the right person?
Man, I mean, it's not, as if it's not bad enough that they have to be on television during this bust. They want to connect the chat person with the person in real life, so they have them bring something along, maybe bring a Red Bull. In one case, they had the guy bring along a toilet plunger. So he's walking into the house carrying a toilet plunger.
Very specific.
Extremely.
Yep. Wow.
We're updating breaking news out of Malibu, where authorities have, or they're investigating now the discovery of a body there. Air 7 is over at Scott. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Giovanna, disturbing story. The body is inside the drum you see there, inside the lagoon here at Malibu Lagoon State Beach. We understand that sanitation workers saw that barrel last night, but they said, hey, we'll get to it in the morning. This morning they came out, tried to remove the barrel. It was heavy, so they took the top off, and they found a body inside that barrel. Now, the lagoon has been shut down here. LA County Sheriff deputies are here. They're going to call homicide detectives now to investigate. Malibu Beach is pretty popular. Lifeguards are here as well. The beach portion is open where they surf, but the lagoon is going to be shut down for some time as they continue this investigation.
Bill in Tennessee would require any food with a vaccine to have a clear label. Now today, the bill was talked about at the House Agriculture Committee. A group of lawmakers are calling for restrictions to the state's current food, drug, and cosmetic act.
So what y'all saying, the shit's already in the food and y'all ain't telling us? And now in Tennessee, they're trying to make it illegal not to tell us? Because that's exactly what it sounds like. Wonder what Bill has to say about this, BG?
First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Shout out to Representative Scott and Senator Joey for holding it down for the good people of
Let's get everyone out of the car. Come on out. Everyone out of the car. Let's start taking them back to the cars. You guys have IDs? No?
Come back.
We're going to start heading back there. Hey.
Come with me.
I'll come. Don't touch me. Just start walking back there.
Yeah.
They don't need to go in handcuffs. We just need to get them out of here.
Go ahead, come right here for me. Come over by this car. Go ahead, stay right there for me, okay? Just do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets for me, alright? Do you guys have names? I'm Deputy Mitchell. You want to tell me your name, or just so I know who I'm talking to? Okay.
Hey, are you good to watch this for?
Yeah.
This is this one in the dark blue.
Okay. There's no one in the trailer? Ma'am, just keep your hands out of your pockets for me, okay?
Take your ID from him. And who else has ID?
I got this.
You guys have
Got that one there.
any other ID? Nothing? You don't have ID cards? How old are you? 14. How old are you? 11? How old are you? 12? You? How old are you? How old are you?